Hey guys, happy Monday morning and happy to the official start of the financial year, just in case you took Friday off. It's Nardi, this is the Daily Espresso, short shots of big business ideas. Chris holding the cam today. Happy financial year to you too, Chris,
Thanks,
or delayed one, just in case you had Friday off. We're going to talk about constructing or building an external advisory team today and why that's so important in your business. It doesn't matter the type of business you're in. It can make a big difference for a small business, but even greater business for a growing business or a business that really wants to shoot the lights out and has got a future and knows it and really wants to make things happen. First one I'm going to start off with is really having that sounding board there. So I'm speaking out there to CEOs. I'm speaking out there to people that are really the head of these businesses that they're running. That potentially don't have a internal advisory board or an internal board of directors or whatever you want to call it. It's very typical of businesses that we typically work with from the $1 to $10 million turnover range and upwards, and it's just normal. And sometimes it'd be potentially crazy where you're just not that type of business that needs that high corporate governance kind of business. So the first thing you're going to need is really some external advisors to come in, and the big one I'd say is really getting a CFO on board. CFO stands for Chief Financial Officer. If you're in the big corporate world, we can still use that term in the small business and medium business space because it's the exact same function that they'll play, and really being in charge of the entire finance operations of your business. They're going to provide advice on how the business is going currently, where it was, where it's going, and they're going to provide that financial soundboard to you as the CEO. They're also going to be pointing out things that need fixing, or pointing out things that need attention, or pointing out bumps in the road potentially, because they should be the people that are able to see that. Obviously under them, and I'm not going to talk about and elaborate about their functions, but they're going to bring with them a wealth of knowledge and information and connections or contacts that are going to build out your accounting and finance and reporting functionality, right? So that's a really important piece to have in your business. The other one's the legal side. So every great business have got their accounting and their finance under control and they're all over it, as are they with their legal side. Why? Is because the legal aspects of any business at the moment can either make or break it. And flying blind, not knowing if you're breaking the law, not knowing if you're infringing on anyone's contracts, or not knowing if you're about to sign a lease and you need some advice. They're really important things to have there. So having, without having to elaborate too much, having a good external advisor in the legal space is great. And especially if you're doing things like potentially thinking about raising capital in the future, is absolutely massive. So we finished we're still right in the middle of it, a bit of a capital raise for a client of ours out there, very dear to us. And the legal team was so involved, and it would not have been possible for the CEO of that business and the CEO and everyone involved to really move forward with that had they not had that amazing and awesome advice. Shout out to ClearPoint Council and Joel Cranshaw. The next one, operations. So operations, Chris, you might want to talk about that. You're the operations champion. You love the operations and the implementation. Getting it done. There's really not a lot to talk about that. You can really push hard on having someone external to that. Still look at it, there are when you get to the point you need a general manager, you can always get the advice of someone externally and bring them in-house is always great. But moving on, we're going to talk about marketing, and I think we've spoken about it before, and I will touch on it again. Having a great marketing external function is absolutely fantastic, and creates a bit more accountability than having someone sometimes internally. Also, the problem is sometimes we can't afford someone internally. We definitely value it. We just don't have the business to afford it. And having someone external who has been there, done it, and has exposure to a wide range of businesses within your field potentially, and have worked within your niche area that you're hopefully targeting, will provide a really great insight and a great piece of organization to how you go about your marketing. So really good there. So they're probably my top three of external advisors you need. So the CFO, and that comes with all the accounting and the operations around that as well, and the reporting. Then you've got your legal, and then you really got your marketing. So the big one for you guys is do you have that external team? Can you rely on them? Are they well, I won't say are they trustworthy because they should be, but are they providing value to you constantly? And do you really have a relationship, or do you just feel it's a bit of a transactional thing? Because having that relationship and having them as a soundboard is that one step, that next step from really starting off as a bit of a transactional thing. Oh, can you check this? Can you check that? So they're the key three things. This is the Daily Espresso, short shots of business ideas. I'm Nardi, Chris behind there, and we talk about operations as well. But let's start this year by putting those things in place and really building that infrastructure for your business going forward in the next 12 months and beyond. Thanks, guys. We'll catch up with you next week.